What's up, YouTube? Poor Man Podcast back with another video. Give me the HBO special. That's the Help a Brother Out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Let's get right into the video.
My ex-wife almost had me sent to Fort Leavenworth for 16 years. This is good. So I get married like any other dumb private does in Korea. Don't ever do that, by the way. 30 days later, I asked for a divorce. It wasn't for me. So I asked for a divorce. Of course, she didn't want that. So what would any other crazy ex-wife do? She started sending emails to my chain of command saying that I was going to kill her, a whole bunch of other crazy things. That's when I first got put under investigation. Of course, that was unfounded, so I was in the clear. So she couldn't get me for that. She decided that she would make a fake email of me and a fake email of another person who was a male. This was when Don't Ask, Don't Tell was in effect. So she would email back and forth, all types of crazy messages, and then she was sending them to the chain of command again. Investigation number 2. Of course, that was unfounded. So what else could she do, right? She couldn't get me any other way. So my ex-wife worked in a hospital. Now, Red Cross messages come from hospitals, so there's a little bit of a backstory. So she couldn't get me for those other things. She decided that she would put in a fake Red Cross message and have it sent to the chain of command as a verified one. So it's late one Friday. My first sergeant calls me. He goes, "Hey, Vonderdeck, we got a verified Red Cross message. Your wife was in a car accident and she's in a coma." He goes, "It's verified. Pack your bags. You're going back to the States." I told him it was fake. So I had a little bit of money in my bank account on the emergency leave. So I was going from Korea to San Francisco. I landed in San Francisco and I couldn't even buy a sandwich. I checked my bank account. All the accounts were drained. She done cleared the bank accounts of all about $10,000.
Here's the thing. We can have the conversation as to what display of aggression is worse. Is physical violence worse or is character degradation and manipulation worse? But this is what I want to say. Whoop my ass. All right? I can take the ass whooping. I can deal with that. But I don't want to wake up and see $10,000 missing from my account. If I'm working for $20 an hour, that's 500 hours of labor gone. And that's before Uncle Sam get his piece. You know Uncle Sam, Uncle Joe Biden, he gonna get his little piece of the pie. He get his before I even get mine. But don't take the $10,000. Give me the ass whooping. I'll take the black eye because I'm going to heal up in a week. But it's going to take me 500 hours of labor to get that $10,000 back. This isn't even character degradation or manipulation. This is just outright stealing. Why is this woman allowed to steal this man's money just because they're married? We all agree that men shouldn't be able to violate their wives just because they're married, right? Men shouldn't be able to assault their wives just because they're married. We all agree on that. But in that same breath, you have to then agree that women shouldn't be able to just steal from their husbands just because they're married. Just because you're married doesn't mean you can just steal money from a person. And this is why I tell dudes you got to watch out for immature women, because immature men, we have this archetype of guy, right? He lives in his mother's basement. He plays video games all day. No man wants to be him. No woman wants to be with him. We all point at that guy and we laugh at him. He's 35 years old. He lives with his mother. But when women are emotionally immature, they get pushed into the dating market because their parents don't want to deal with them anymore. And instead of going into homelessness, they end up living with some poor guy that has to deal with her emotional immaturity, and he ends up suffering for it. And since it's less taboo for women to be dependent, these women will go under the radar and ruin some guy's life. There are just as many emotionally immature women as there are emotionally immature men. It's just the emotionally immature men have to live in their mother's basement and we all make fun of them, while the emotionally immature women get pushed into the dating market and ruin lives. And when it comes to intimate partner violence, I'll take the ass whooping. Whoop my ass, because it's going to take longer for me to get the money back than it will for me to heal from the wound. So I'll take the ass whooping.
Recent free speech rankings survey by Spite said that 94% of UK universities have censored free speech in the past year. Some have no platform. People like Germaine Greer, Roger Scruton, and a human rights activist called Miriam Namazi. Are you happy with that?
I don't believe it's censorship. I believe that freedom of speech is also freedom to accept the consequences of that speech. And if that means that certain institutions don't want to promote or give you a platform to say these things, then you have to accept that.
Really?
Yes,
fair.
it is.
That's not curtailing freedom of speech.
No, I don't think it is. People like Germaine Greer.
But you've just taken away the freedom of these people to speak at the university.
They can speak wherever they like, but freedom of speech is not freedom to be invited wherever you want.
What's the point of a university if you don't allow a variety of views to be expressed?
A variety of views, that's absolutely fine.
Well, clearly not if you're Germaine Greer.
I think if students are being asked to pay increasingly higher fees, and I think that if they object to people like Germaine Greer, Julie Bindel, Milo Yiannopoulos, being given frequently pretty hefty speaking fees themselves and being given a platform at their university, then I think they have a right.
Julie Bindel doesn't take fees for that. Julie Bindel does not take fees. And she has worked for 30 years raising awareness of violence against women and done so, you know, thanklessly. And for her to be barred from universities simply because she has a different view to you or some of the people in that university about transgender issues is a disgrace, as it is with Peter Tatchell.
I think...
Hold on. Let
to say that they're getting money for it, it's absolutely legal.
Kate Welsh.
I think Julie Bindel has done some fantastic things for women's issues. I will not decry that. I do believe that she has frequently incited hatred against transgender people, and that puts...
But she hasn't. She's defended transgendered people. I've heard her do it. She's done it to me. I've spoken to her about it. She's defended transgender people where all she does is cleave to the notion, which is actually a scientific fact, whether you like it or not, which is that someone who has transitioned from a man to a woman is still technically, essentially, if you wish to call it, essentially a man.
See, my problem is I'm all about freedom. So to some degree, I completely understand in terms of if I'm paying money to attend a university and that university is then using that money to pay guests to come into the university, I should to some degree be able to have a say in who I want my money to go to come to the university. But on the flip side of that, I think that universities have a responsibility to educate. Actually, to get a degree, I think that you should be required to go to a certain number of lectures that go against what you already believe. Because the same people who think that they can dictate speech on the campus are the same people that think that they can dictate speech when they get out of the campus. And so now you have podcasts like the Joe Rogan Experience saying, hey, we understand that vaccines are being pushed to people. We get that. That's cool. Everybody do what you got to do. But also maybe we should insinuate that it's nice to lose weight, that if you want to decrease your chances of dying, maybe we should lose a couple pounds as a country. And the media, because they know that their ratings are down, they need a new villain, right? Their ratings are in the dumps. They need a new villain. They need to rally up the troops. They go, this message is sponsored by Pfizer. Shut Joe Rogan up. And the same people that thought that they could dictate speech of the people in college are coming out into the real world and attacking people like Joe Rogan for sitting down and having conversations with people who have different political points. And because they've been pampered and sheltered from certain ideas for their entire lives, they can't even have a conversation. So technically, yeah, as a college, as a private institution, you do have the right to not allow certain people with certain viewpoints into your college, but I don't think you're truly doing what's best for the students, especially if you want to educate them into being well-balanced human beings. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
This video isn't going to have a punchline. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Because I am basically just making it to stop crying. Because usually when I start trying to make a video, I stop crying. And I've been crying all day because I got sat on a plane next to a couple, and the whole time the guy had his hand on like his girlfriend's leg, you know, and it was just kind of like that the whole time. And I can't, like, I've been single my whole life. I'm 25 and I've never gotten to experience that. I've never gotten like close to that. And it's just too much. Like, it's too much. I can't do it anymore. There are some people out there who they're not interested in a relationship and they want to be by themselves. But like, that's not me. And that's never been me. I have always wanted to be in a relationship, even though I've never been in one. And even though I'm comfortable by myself and I can do things alone, but like at a certain point, it gets like really sad doing things alone. Like, I've traveled alone to so many places because, like, if I don't go by myself, I'm not going to go. If I don't do things by myself, it's not going to happen. But at the same time, like, it's so much fun to be able to, like, share that with someone else. And, like, everyone I know is in a relationship right now. And, like, the majority of them have been in relationships for, like, a long time. Like, this is established. And I just, like, I feel like I've always been alone. And I don't want to be, and I don't understand why this is happening to me. And I don't know, I like can't take it anymore. And clearly this didn't work because I'm still crying and I just wasted like 2 minutes of your time, and I'm sorry. And I hope you're having a better weekend than I am. So
here's the thing, when you make a video crying about
Gotta go get this shit by any means, like physics. I'm no chemist, but got mixes, word equating, hella lyric, petri dishes. Got fucked up dispositions, dropped the pen, picked up the pencil, been precise, seeming consistent. I dissect up everything.